Here we are. I don't know what episode number it is because I'm losing track, but here's another episode of She's Got the Keys.
She's got the keys.
And we're going to speak at the same time. I love it. Today,
Yes.
we're going to be talking about some of the best parks that we love for lots of different reasons. They're kid-friendly, dog-friendly. They have lots of activities welcomed there. Just great ways to get outside and enjoy the Pacific Northwest, kind of a follow-up from our last episode about the best trails.
Yeah.
We're trying to get people outside to love where we live.
And we realized after researching all these trails that there was a whole other subsection of parks that we really wanted to dive into.
Yes.
They offer a lot of good times.
I do. I'm going to cover some on the east side that I am familiar with and some that I'm getting to know through this research. And Emily is going to kind of tackle more of the Seattle side, North Seattle side, because she's more familiar with that area. And I think we're going to give kind of a good round of information so everybody can find a new place to enjoy.
Yay! Start us off.
Okay, I'm going to start us off with a very well-known East Side park, Marymore Park.
Great.
This is in Redmond. Huge park. It's 40 acres. There's off-leash, a vast 40-acre off-leash dog park. So I'm not sure if that means you can be off-leash everywhere. I feel like that's not usually the case in most parks. But dogs are welcome, so that's a plus.
Yay! And that's, if you're not from Washington, you may not know, there are lots of restricted areas where dogs cannot be.
Yeah, a lot of these are beaches too, so really pay attention to what beach you're going to head out to. Some of these will specify if dogs are allowed, but you don't want to get in trouble and get a ticket. And also make sure where you're going is if they allow off-leash areas, some certain trails, even if you think you're in the middle of nowhere, you can get a ticket. Did you know that you can get reported and they'll come to your door? Funny story about that.
Oh,
yeah.
Did that happen to you?
It might have happened to my parents.
Oh.
Yeah, they only got a warning. But, so, Marymore, a lot of people are familiar with Marymore because they also hold outdoor concerts. Currently, right now, they are hosting Cirque du Soleil, which I haven't been to in a long time.
I'm going.
You are?
Yeah, we're going the first weekend in March.
Amazing.
Me and the kids.
They're hosting the Kuza show right now. So if you drive anywhere near Redmond, you're going to see that big top peeking out over the tops of Marymore Park. It's very kid-friendly. There's multiple playgrounds, lots of sports fields. So if you are a parent of a child that plays sports, you have most likely gone there. I played there. Played softball games there, I'm sure, at some point in my life. In the 15 years I played softball.
Okay.
There's a lot of open spaces. You can do recreational activities. You can have picnics there. There's lots of biking trails, walking trails. I said picnic areas. And then lots of community events that happens there. So definitely, if you are a Redmond resident and you're already on, all the neighborhood sites, you're probably going to get notices of community events there. If you're not, and you just love Marymore Park, there's a lot of really great opportunities to go there. I think that is also where I saw Sarah Bareilles. So they do concerts there as well.
Yeah, concerts in the park. That's a big deal.
Marymore.
They're happening all over the city.
They are.
We have some concerts up at City Park in Edmonds.
Cool.
That's kind of the first one I wanted to focus on because I spend a lot of time there.
Yeah, because you've got two kiddos.
That's right. There is a splash pad, a playground. They host concert in the park. They have an icy truck that shows up in the summertime. You can get...
Like shaved ice?
Shaved ice, yes.
Oh.
Shaved ice right there at the park. So you never have to leave, ever.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yum.
It's right there kind of in the city in downtown, and over the 4th of July they also have the fire trucks come out and they do this back and forth water hose fight. So they hang a ball in the air and they pull out their hoses and they try to get the ball from one side to the other. It's a fantastic show.
No way.
If you haven't been,
I haven't.
City Park in Edmonds, it's a good time. Check it out.
Okay. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was number 1 on my list.
Is it fun to go to also in the winter, or is it more of a summer destination?
Yes, but there's quite a few trees, and so the playground is shaded most of the time. So if it's cold, it is very cold. Okay. So we still frequent it during the winter months, but not as frequently as we do in the summer months.
More fun in the summer. I think a lot of these parks definitely have some summer summer attractions, but as the ones that have a lot of sports fields, I think they're used pretty much all year long. So I think anything on the east side, I played at some point in my childhood.
Amazing.
Played softball. Another one I'm going to talk about, Robbinswood Park. This is in Bellevue.
Okay, I haven't even heard of this park.
Exactly. See, so this is the East Side Park. Well, you are sort of new to Washington-ish, right? In the grand scheme of things.
I mean, eight years in the city.
Okay. So Robbinswood Park is in Bellevue. It's closer to like the crossroads area is how I would define it.
Okay.
So kind of close-ish to where I grew up. They are super well known for all their sports fields. Like if you played on a sport, any kind of sport, like soccer, softball, I think they have basketball courts there too, baseball.
Sounds kind of bougie. Is it pretty bougie?
No, I mean, I don't think it's bougie. It's just like a park that has lots of sports areas.
Okay.
But what it also has is it has a designated off-leash dog corral, so they can like socialize and play. So really nice that you can take your dog there, kind of put them in the dog play area, not have to have them on leash the entire time. There's also a pond there. I have lots of memories of this pond because when I was in a musical in high school, we went to this pond to take our like photo shoot for the musical. So I like Robbinswood Park because you can kind of walk around and get like your alone time near the pond on some trails, but you can also you can take your kids there to play sports, or you can take your kids there to play sports and also take your dog to go play in the dog corral.
You can do it all.
You really like,
What about shaved ice though? Can you get a cup of shaved ice?
I don't know if they have shaved ice like on a constant, but I'm sure there's an ice cream truck there in the summer, would be my guess. There's picnic trails. How about that? Bring your own shaved ice.
Great.
Robbinswood Park, Bellevue, lots of memories. Lots of memories there.
Love it. Okay. The next one that I am covering is Discovery Park. It's actually the largest park in Seattle.
I believe that's huge.
And it's got a lot of, if you listen to the last episode, we talked a little bit about the trails that headed towards Discovery Park and it being kind of founded from that. But it has a lot of educational value. They do have quite a few programs that they run there, like bird watching and trail hikes and kite soaring. And if you go down, there's some of the older buildings are still there on the site, which are really cool. Not only that, but you have fantastic views of the Puget Sound, which is stunning. So that's one of those parks I just like to let the kids run wild because it's huge, open fields. Yes. So Discovery Park is a great one for doing lots of trails, having the Puget Sound view, and learning all about the wildlife here in the Seattle metro area.
It almost feels like you can go to Discovery Park and go on a short walk, or you can go on like a 5-mile hike. It's really, really big. It has a little bit of everything. It's even got a little beach area, and the lighthouse is really popular. I don't know how the first time I ever went there was, I think during the pandemic, because we just needed to get out. And I've lived here my whole life, but I didn't grow up in Seattle. So like, you know, when you live on the east side, Seattle's very far away. And it was amazing to me that we felt like we were on like a legitimate hike. I remember we wore sandals and we were like, we're just going for a walk. It was 5 miles later. We were huffing and puffing.
Okay, the last time I was there, I was really worried that I would get lost because there are so many different trails that I had no idea which way I was going. I met a friend at a parking lot. Turns out there's like 20 different parking lots there. It took us 30 minutes to find each other. So it's a huge park. You could spend all day there, but make sure you bring your phone with some GPS on it because girl needs tracking back to her car.
Yep. Yeah, it was much larger than I anticipated. I think we ran there a few times during COVID as well because we were on a big running kick. So we've kind of hit a lot of the Seattle parks during that time. I'm going to tangent to one Seattle park.
Okay.
Speaking of running, that was my absolute favorite, and we talked about this one, the Washington Arboretum, which is like close to UW.
We've had a photo shoot done in that park as a family.
Oh, I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
There's
the Japanese gardens.
30 acres
Holy smokes.
on this entire, park.
Yeah.
And it's got the botanical gardens, it's got the Japanese garden, which a friend of mine in theater is one of the gardeners there. So he posted those beautiful pictures of like these
Their trees are so
amazingly
cool.
tended to, like Japanese maples, and like you guys, the amount of love that these gardeners put into that
I believe it.
garden is unbelievable.
I believe it.
He posted a story once of how they removed every single stone from this one section to gently clean them off and put them back in their place. I mean, it's beautiful, it's immaculate. But has amazing running trails, amazing hiking trails. It also has a lot of paved areas, so you can, bike, you can use your stroller. There might be restrictions about where you can bike and do those kinds of things, so there's probably certain paths. But there's a lot of like trail running you can do as well. We used it because there's these really great like kind of steeper areas too. So if you want to do some training for your running,
You want to get ripped.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a little bit brutal,
Yeah.
but also life-saving during COVID because we ran there. My husband and I ran there 3 days a week.
Wow.
And it was amazing. It was beautiful, and I looked forward to it every single time.
But no playground, right? I don't recall there
there's
being
no
a playground. It's
So
really
not,
just the gardens.
I wouldn't say it's like kid driven in the sense that there's stuff for them to do. Maybe like littles if you're going to be pushing them in a stroller and they're
Yeah.
just out for the vibes. And mom is taking a walk, dad's
Yeah.
taking a walk.
Great spot for a romantic picnic. That's what I would
Yes.
say. The Arboretum
Yes.
would be like romantic picnic, sunset vibes. Very
It can get a little bit buggy in the summer when the sun is going down. That's probably safe to say about a lot of parks, but because this one's a little bit dense with all the lush gardens
And ponds.
and ponds, some still water, it can get a little buggy. How did I learn this, Emily? I learned this because I was running. What did I get in my eye? A bug.
Ooh.
Yes, Cameron had to pull it out. So then we ran with our sunglasses. So
Nice.
there's just a lesson for you.
A little
Running
pro
glasses.
tip.
Yeah.
Pro tip, we'll call that.
Yes, pro tip.
Expert tip. Okay, another park that I want to focus on is St. Edward's State Park. Have you heard of that?
I don't think so, but the name sounds familiar. But where is this one?
That is wild to me. It's 326 acres in Kenmore.
Okay.
It's a national forestry park.
I'm sure I've been there, but
They
I just
have
don't remember.
trails and beaches and a massive playground, just humongous, like castle style. But also at the park is the lodge at St. Edward's. So
Okay,
you can,
yes, this is why I know it, because of the
yeah,
Lodge of St. Edward.
you
which
can
is,
stay there.
blows my mind because
have-
it really looks like a castle.
Yeah, they have a museum. It used to be a Catholic seminary, and it was before it was a Catholic seminary. It was used for logging, is what my research tells me. But now the lodge has several rooms and 2 different restaurants and a bar, so you can go play out in the trails and then come in and have a bevy and some light snacks and
Yeah.
then hit the trails again.
Amazing.
Yeah. I took a client to St. Edward's State Park and he was really fun, and we did some fun photos out on because there's like ruins of some of the altars and whatnot,
Oh, yeah.
and like laying up in the altars.
Amazing.
It was
Okay,
really fun.
I thought it sounded familiar.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's stunning. Long drive in,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Would highly recommend. And check out the hotel. It's cool.
I have researched this hotel when we were doing like wedding research. I was searching pretty much anything around, but it looks
The
gorgeous.
rooms are small
Yeah.
and older, but they've done a really nice job with renovations.
Nice. Another one I'm going to touch on, Juanita Beach Park.
Ooh,
Kind of like Juanita, Kirkland area. I love this park because in the summer they will do like little summer concerts. They'll do like kid concerts,
Yeah.
which is really fun.
I'm
And,
surprised you go that high up.
I have one of my best friends lives in Kirkland. She's
Okay.
got 3 kiddos, so I haven't been there in a little while. But when her kids were really little, we went there for some concerts.
Yeah,
and
kids
I
concerts.
will jam out to that tween music like so hard.
And it's right there on the beach.
It's
you
right
can
there on the
see
beach, so you basically got
the lake.
Yeah, the band will be performing. The lake is behind. It's
Yep.
a beautiful day. Juanita Beach Park is amazing. So The park has been a popular summer destination since the early 1900s, so it's been around for a long time. And then there used to be like a park bathhouse there, and it was rebuilt, and it's now an accessible playground that was installed in 2020. So it's a great place for the kids to hang out. Really popular in the summer. I think it's probably still popular in the winter, but in the summer is where a lot of those like outdoor activities are happening. Now, there's also a Juanita Friday market that happens there. It's
Ooh,
the
I didn't
weekly
know that.
farmers market. Yeah, so that happens. That's just in the summer months, of course. So it's a
Okay.
bigger destination in the summer, but there's really fun Friday market you can go to.
If you're not going in the summertime, it's a great place to spot geese and ducks. So
Yes.
we would bring bread down for the boys to
Yeah.
feed so that they could like play on the playground and do that. And then eventually they'd get so wet that we'd have to leave. But just another pro tip for your back pocket.
Yeah. There's also an off-leash dog area. There is a boat launch. There's a lot of other reasons that people are going to this park, not just to walk around and hang out with their kids, but there's a boat launch, there's baseball and softball fields, there's barbecues, there's trails, volleyball. I mean, there's like all kinds of things. There's picnic areas. They also have reservable ones that are covered. So if you want to go in the fall or winter months, you can still go there and enjoy being outside.
And I would say that most of the parks that we've talked about have reservable picnics. Just make sure that if that's something you want to do in the summertime, look in February, look today, because they really do get booked out. Even at the smaller parks throughout Edmonds that we aren't covering today, they will have been booked within the January, February months.
Yeah.
So yeah, super popular.
Yeah, doesn't mean you can't go there to have your event, but if you really want the covered area in case you happen on one of our, July rainstorms where it's 40 degrees, you can still have a good time outside.
Yeah, absolutely. The next one I'm going to focus on is Warren G. Magnuson Park.
Also a good one.
Yeah, so this is on
Massive.
the west side of Lake Washington, and it is very, very big. I don't have the stats on how big it is. It says that it has an 8.6 acre off-leash dog area with water to Lake Washington, so they can go in and out of the water.
Yes, I have a friend who brings her dog there.
Which
often.
is great. I mean, it's great if you don't have to carry them back in the car.
It's great if you don't have a Saint Bernardoodle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The boys play rugby at Magnuson, and Tay's their rugby coach, so they
cool.
meet there once a week. And it's also got the largest playground and wetlands for exploration
Cool.
out of the Seattle park.
The largest playground.
I guess
Wow.
that's what they tell me. That's what they tell me. The Wetlands Restoration Project provides a great place for bird watching and learning about local ecosystems. So if that's something that you're hot on,
Yeah.
I would go to Magnuson.
A lot of our parks actually have wetlands within them, which is probably why a lot of the parks were created around these areas, because they're protected areas. There's a lot of these on the east side. If you're familiar with like the Mercer Slough or the blueberry picking field, which is also sort of in the Mercer Slough. A lot of these parks are going to have a similar theme of being around wetlands because they are protected areas that are crucial to the environment and critical area lands for birds, habitats, all that kinds of stuff. That actually does tie in a little bit to real estate and owning property, because sometimes when we see properties that are on large lots, like say they're 5 acres, a lot of clients will want to know how much of that land is usable, and what we do is we say you sort of need a critical area study, and that is to see specifically if there are things like wetlands on the property, because these are important to habitats and environments and all the ecosystem in that area. So it does kind of tie back into residential real estate. So,
That's right.
see what we did there?
That's right. We're making it all inclusive here. Okay, there are a couple other ones I want to cover, and one of them is not super large, but it is one that I go to a lot, and I'd be super bummed if somebody didn't bring it up, because Marina Beach Park is both a dog park and a train station, and they have a boat launch there, and they have a trail that goes along the waterfront, so you can actually you can go to the dog park and then you can put your dog in the car, or let your dog just not come.
The dog doesn't always have to come.
Right, but then there are these 3 other beaches that you can access, and it's right there on the Puget Sound. And oftentimes we get low tides, and they'll do these low tide walks where you can go and see the moon snails and the starfish.
Oh, yeah.
And there's so many cool animals that reside in those tide pools there. So I spend at least 1 to 2 days a week down at this beach park.
Oh, cool.
And one of the things that I really like to do is collect rocks, beach rocks.
I have a collection of beach rocks. In fact, most of my purses have at least 1 or 2 rocks in them because I will collect them wherever I am and then put them in that bag. And then they don't ever become their own collection. They're just in all of my bags.
I love it. I make little rock gardens with mine, so we bring them home, and a lot of the time the ones that we pick are the wishing rocks, so that they have like a ring all the way around them. I'm really hot on that.
That's what I collect.
Oh my gosh,
I didn't know that.
We didn't talk about this. Yeah, you have a lot
I
of
never knew
wishes.
that's what they were called. You guys, do you know how many wishes I have stored up?
You
I
better-
really love a flattish one with a good line through it, which I now know is called a wishing rock.
It's a wishing rock.
Okay, I'm very excited to go make
How
wishes.
about heart-shaped rocks? You get those too?
I haven't found any. I haven't been searching for those, but I've been getting the wish rocks, so
Good.
now I know what to do with them.
Yep.
One last park I want to touch on is one of my favorite parks. I say that about all of them, but it's a great park in Bellevue. It's the Wilburton Hill Park, and this is adjacent to the Bellevue Botanical Gardens. So maybe people just refer to it as the Bellevue Botanical Gardens. It is absolutely stunning in the Botanical Gardens. They have 3,000 varieties of plants
I have
there.
not been to them. I haven't been
It's
there yet.
beautiful,
I've got to go
and
check
they do
it out.
a light show in the winter. They have
Ooh.
like beautiful lights throughout the botanical gardens. It's really, really pretty. There's also a leashed dog area, so there's dog trails you can go through. So you can bring your dog. They just have to be on a leash, which is fine. And there's lots of wetlands there as well. There's a lot of these in Bellevue because it's right near, Lake
We've
Washington.
got a theme. We've
Yeah.
got a theme here.
And if you're familiar with Bellevue, just along that like sort of Bellevue Way stretch is sort of just all of these wetlands areas. So there's a lot of cool parks because of this. The Botanical Gardens opened in 1992, and it's really strong because of the community support that it's been receiving over the years. It actually receives over 400,000 visitors a year, making it one of the most popular city destinations, actually.
I didn't know that.
I know. A lot of people go to the Bellevue Park, which is kind of like the circular park, which is sort of in the middle of downtown
I've
Bellevue.
been there.
Very popular because it's got a small loop, so you can like walk your dog.
I've been there.
Dogs can run around in the middle. They often do concerts there as well. But the Botanical Gardens is about, I don't know, a quarter mile just east of this. So it's really, really close. So if you hit up Bellevue Park, don't miss the Botanical Gardens. It's free to walk around. I believe there's a kids' play area, but I don't think I have ventured into that area. You can go down some long trails there, so I haven't even explored all the areas, but the flowers are just absolutely stunning. And make sure you go there in the winter when they do their winter light show.
Nice.
Really awesome.
I have to do that next year.
Yeah, it's good.
We've always done zoo lights, which is right
Yeah,
there
and
by.
I've never done the zoo lights.
Oh, they're so
I
cool.
know,
Now
I
they're called,
know.
they're like wild lanterns. So they're
Right.
no longer like the twinkly lights. They create these 3D sculptures.
Right.
And the Woodland Park Zoo is very close to Green Lake, right? So you could do a loop of the lake and then
Right.
go to the zoo and hang out at the zoo and then hit up the playground that's right there. Or you could go do the loop of Green Lake, go to the zoo and hit up the splash park afterwards all day.
I do love Green Lake.
All
for
day.
It's many options of what you can do there.
But it's like the only light show that we have found that we have really consistently liked.
Oh, cool.
So
the Bellevue Botanical Gardens is beautiful.
next year,
Yeah.
I'm adding it to the list.
I haven't been there in years for the light show, but I just went to the Botanical Gardens in the last couple of months.
Nice.
Yeah, get a coffee, walk around. There is a little stand inside where you can grab coffee and a pastry, and you can, kind of walk around and enjoy your latte on the
Amenities.
trails. Enjoy your amenities on the trails.
Amenities, because
Yeah.
we're bougie.
Yeah. gotta have a
That's
latte
okay.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us for this awesome episode.
And we hope you learned something about the parks in your backyard.
Yes, and if there's a park that we should know about, like comment, let us know, because
Well,
there's obviously a lot of parks
To
I
be
do
fair,
not know about.
yes, it was very hard for us to kind of siphon down this list.
Yeah, we can't talk about all the hundreds.
We
hundreds of
couldn't.
parks.
There are a ton, but it is fun to find out when these parks are having their special events, because most of them do.
Yep.
And figuring out how you can kind of connect with your community in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. And we learn a little something about where you live and where I live, or where I grew up.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
Follow along.
See you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.